glad to see you on my channel. Support the channel by liking, subscribing, and leaving comments. It's not hard for you, and it's a great motivation for me to create new videos. I appreciate every interaction, and it inspires me to share new stories with you. Enjoy watching, and feel free to share your thoughts below. It all started spontaneously, completely out of the blue. Even now, I'm torn between lingering guilt and recognizing that what's done can't be undone. My name is Michael. I am 41 years old, tall with dark hair, an athletic build, and what I would call an intelligent and kind character. I've always lived by the rule of not letting other people's opinions dictate my life. But even I couldn't predict what was about to happen. Just a week ago, my wife and our child organized a camping trip that included her younger sister, Emily, and her 2 children. Emily, a single mom, is stunningly beautiful but incredibly gullible, sometimes to the point of outrage. The day of the trip arrived, but my wife was suddenly called into work. The kids had been looking forward to this trip for weeks, so I felt it was my duty to take charge and make sure their plans didn't fall through. I am very sorry about this. Be careful on the road, and please keep an eye on my sister's children, my wife said, giving me a fleeting kiss before disappearing from sight. We set off after Emily and her children. After 6 long hours of driving, we finally arrived at our campsite, all of us exhausted and hungry. Without wasting any time, we divided up the chores. I got busy setting up the tents, the kids enthusiastically gathered firewood, and Emily carefully laid out our stuff and set up a cozy spot for the campfire. When everything was ready, we cooked dinner together, and while we ate, we enjoyed the beauty of the sunset and the soothing warmth of the flickering flames of the fire. Dinner turned into a lively event, and children's laughter filled the air as we discussed plans for the next day. Later, we decided to cool off with a swim in the lake nearby. After a refreshing swim, we returned to the campfire, singing songs to the accompaniment of my guitar. The evening was simply magical. By the time the stars filled the sky, the kids were yawning uncontrollably, their energy completely exhausted. Emily and I tucked them into their sleeping bags, and soon their quiet snores joined the sounds of nature around us. As the children fell soundly asleep, Emily and I were drawn back to the calm lake. "Let's go for another swim," Emily suggested, and her face lit up with delight. I agreed, and we quietly approached the water. I entered the cool embrace of the lake, and to my surprise, Emily began to undress. She dove into the water and her laughter rang out under the moonlight. "I've always wanted to swim like this," she exclaimed, her joy palpable. Her carefree attitude left me stunned, and not knowing how to react. As she swam closer, I felt a growing discomfort. This was my wife's sister, and yet here we were, alone under the moonlight. "Emily, maybe you should put something on. I don't feel comfortable," I stammered, and I muttered, deliberately turning my head so I wouldn't look at her. "What's the big deal?" she teased, and her voice tinged with mischief as she swam even closer. "You act like you've never seen a beautiful body before. You're beautiful, Michael, and I'm not stupid. My sister isn't here, the kids are asleep. Why not seize the moment?" Her words made me speechless, and before I could respond, she leaned over and put her arms around me. Her hands rested on my shoulders, igniting a fire I hadn't felt in a long time. It wasn't just her touch, but the unbridled beauty she exuded. My wife and I hadn't shared this kind of intimacy in years. Our connection had become distant and routine. At that moment, I found myself unable to resist Emily's ardor. The world around me seemed to dissolve into thin air as I surrendered to the intensity of the moment. All thoughts of consequences receded into the background, and we surrendered to the enchantment of the night. Under the moonlight, with the gentle waves of the lake surrounding us, we shared a bond that was both forbidden and unforgettable. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe for more heartfelt and intriguing stories. Your support means everything to me. Thank you for watching and reading.